Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books. So, the last vote that happened, Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson won. And if you watched my more recent wrap-up, I didn't necessarily love it. I didn't not like it, though, either. It was a very middle-of-the-road book for me. So it's a YA fantasy standalone. Long story short, there's magic, there's a magical library, there's a kick-ass main character, heroine, and she's like cool and whatever, but she's also very sheltered. She wants to be a protector in the library, essentially. There's magical books that can come to life as monsters and you have to fight them. And I thought elements of it were done really well, and it was cute. A lot of it I felt like it was cute. So our main character, Elizabeth, she meets this dude, and I can't remember his name, Nathaniel? Yes, Nathaniel. He was clearly trying very hard to not be charming, but he was very charming. And then we have the demon, Silas, and he was precious, even though he was a literal demon. And I liked all the characters, and I thought that their interactions were cute, and whatever. I just didn't feel super connected to any of them. And the climax of the conflict towards the end of the book, it was kind of fun and exciting, but at the same time, hella predictable. So, spoilers, by the way. I'll put a timestamp for down below when I stop talking about spoilers. But yeah, we're told time and time again how Silas is a demon, and he's selfish, and he's never gonna do anything selfless, and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, okay, obviously he's gonna, like, sacrifice himself. Like, clearly that's what's gonna happen. And that's what fucking happened. And it was just so apparent so early on how this was gonna play out. And it's literally exactly how it played out. So, like, when that happened, I felt no emotion about it when Silas sacrificed himself. I was like, oh yeah, well. I was more or less like through the action in the climax there. I was just like waiting for that part. I was like, okay, I get it. He's gonna say, okay, can we get to that point where he sacrifices himself already? Like, let's get on with it. There was no like tension or buildup in the action for me. So because of these things, just throughout the book, like I said, it was cute. I liked the characters well enough. Their interactions were adorable and whatever. And the plot was fine, the plot was good, but I just didn't get connected, and I didn't love anything about it until the literal last like page and a half. The last page and a half, it's such a, like, things are tied up and wrapped up, and you know, Silas has sacrificed himself, and Nathaniel and Elizabeth are together, and they're adorable, and oh my god, and they're moving on with their life without Silas. But then at the very end, you're left with this like cliffhanger, sort of, where Elizabeth basically figures out how to bring him back. She thinks, she's like, let me try a different, like, because they've tried over and over again to bring him back and they can't. So she's like, let me try to use a different name, and which now would be his true name. So she tries that, and it leaves you off with like a flutter in the air, indicating he's probably coming back, but then that's the end of the book. And it just leaves you right there with a like, did he come back? Did he not? Like, oh my god. And I really liked that. I liked that ending because, again, like I said, all the main things in the book were tied up. We weren't left with any like huge questions. And that wasn't even really a question because it's like, clearly he's comes back, but then that's all you get of the story. And I could see how some people might not like that and it might make them mad, but I thought it was really cool. And it left me being like, what? Oh my god. Like, that actually got some emotion out of me and some like excitement. Whereas the rest of the book didn't really get much excitement out of me. But that ending, like, I loved it enough that it kind of bumped up my rating slightly. On my 1 to 10, I gave it a 6.8, which translates to 3.5 Pusheenicorns. If there is going to be a continuation of this story, I would probably read it, provided Silas is like a big character. Because I just loved, he was the one I felt like I was the most interested in. So I did the random picker tool already, and I have the 3 books that are the options for the next round of voting. Number 1 is Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett. This book was published in May of 2018. We have a main character who tried to kill a king. We have flightless dragons, deadly flightless dragons who come out to hunt at night. And our main character can influence the minds of animals, which is a magic that is apparently forbidden, punishable by death or exile. This description is way too long. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but yeah, then she comes across basically some mystery. There's a darker menace stirring inside the kingdom, as there always is, right? A potential civil war that is brewing, and shit happens. And then number 2 is We Set the Dark on Fire by Taylor K. Mejia. I think that would be Taylor, but I could be wrong, and I apologize if I am. This is also young adult fantasy. This, I believe, his own voice is Latina rep, and there's also LGBT rep in this. I'm not totally sure how much or, whatever. I've heard pretty good things about this. I've had it on my list for a while. I mean, all of these I've had on for a while, but this one was published this year, I think. Yeah, in February of this year. We have a school for girls, the Medio School for Girls. Distinguished young women are trained for 2 key roles in their society. It says the graduates will one day run a husband's household or raise his children. I guess not both. I don't know. But then they get to live a life of comfort and luxury, far from the difficulties among the lower class. We have a main character whose whole pedigree is a lie. Her parents lied to get her here, apparently, to rise above her station. She has a marriage fast approaching. She's asked to spy for a resistance group. Says, will she cling to the privilege her parents fought to win for her, or give up everything she's strived for in pursuit of a free Medio and a chance at a forbidden love? The next one technically shouldn't even be on my list because it's now supposed to be books published in the last year or 2, so 2018 or 2019. This one was actually published, good God, in 2017, Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie C. Deo. A reimagining of the evil queen legend about one peasant girl's quest to become empress and the darkness she must unleash to achieve her destiny. 18-year-old, I'm probably gonna fuck this right up, but I think it's Xifeng, would it be? Xifeng? I believe that Xi is like a J sound. At any rate, the stars say she is destined for greatness. She's meant to be the empress of Fanglu, but only if she embraces the darkness within her. Apparently, her magic is sorcery fueled by eating the hearts of the recently killed. So that's aggressive. And there we have it. The voting will be up in the card, so please vote. It'll be open for at least a week from when the video goes up. So whichever one you guys vote for, this will be the November/December, whenever I get to it, as per usual in those 2 months. I'm pretty excited about all 3 of these, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see what you guys are the most interested in. What you think I would like the most also. Please bear that in mind when you're voting. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.